Hello, this is the CASIO EX-word DATAPLUS 4. This is the model XD-XP6600, and I'm going to take you through it, show you how to set it up, show you the basics, plus a few tricks. So let's begin. When you first get it in the box, the batteries will be in the box but not in the actual device, so you have to install the batteries and then set it up. So let's begin from there. So this is the back. Here is the battery compartment. We'll slide it off like so, and just for reference sake, I've shown you how I've shown you from the batteries installed. So they are pulled out like so, and let's start from scratch. Let's put the batteries in. Like so. There's a space here for a micro SD card just in here. This is not a function we'll look at today. We can look at that in another video. Then we slide the battery compartment back on, the lid back on. While we're looking at the back, inside the battery compartment, once you've slid it on, is a hole for the stylus. It goes in like so, very neatly, so that when you're looking at it like this, you can pull it out from the right, like so. Alright. And looking at the back, most of these functions you won't need as an English speaker because they're designed for Japanese users. For example, here we have phones and speaker. There's a switch here, switching between the two, but this is for the talk function, which only works for English words. And is therefore not much use for an English speaker. You cannot use it with Japanese. A phone's plug here, and there's a USB plug here, which is again a function we won't look at today. You probably won't need it. We can look at it another time if necessary. So let's begin. The first thing you do is open it, and a very good function with this the CASIO EX-word is that simply opening it switches it on. There is a on-off switch here at the very top left, which you probably won't really have to use with this on-off function being what it is, depending on opening and closing. The very first screen that comes up once you've installed the batteries is all about the contrast on the screen. Just before we look at that, I'll show you another useful function, the backlight button. The very top right button here is the backlight button. If we press it like so, it will stay lit for 30 seconds. But, let's switch it off, if you first press the shift button here, this one, then press the backlight button, it will now stay on for 3 minutes. For the purposes of this video, I think it's easier to see the screen with the backlight off, so let's keep it off. Here, it's asking you about the contrast for this main screen. To make it darker, press the right hand cursor button here. There are 4 cursors, up, down, left and right. Press the right hand one to darken the screen. Press the left hand one to lighten it. This looks about right, so we'll press the OK button in the middle to OK that. The next screen, there are 4 little plus signs in each corner of the main screen. It asks you to touch the middle of each one with the cursor, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we come up with another contrast setting, this time for the handwriting screen, which is down here, a little difficult to see. It uses the same method, the right hand cursor for darkening it, the left hand cursor for lightening it. And once you've got it to how you want it, please press the OK button in the middle. And just as we have with the display screen, there are 4 little plus signs in the handwriting screen corners, which we now touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. We wait a bit, and up comes the screen. The X word has now been brought to life. The dictionary also has a backlight. This button, the top right here, if you press it, it will stay lit for 30 seconds. But if you first press the shift button, that's the bottom left black button here, press that and then press the backlight button, it will stay on for 3 minutes. Along the top of the control panel there are 7 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are menu buttons. We're going to go through each one and see the basics of how it works. We'll look into some of them in more detail than others, as I'm assuming you're an English speaker and will not really be using it as a Japanese dictionary. But we'll look at each function anyway.